Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. I want to give a shout out to the NTZ crew. Thank y'all so much for all you do. Jacob Tanjay, I know that Michael Beecher Life should be on here too. I really appreciate what y'all do for the channel. I'll never take that for granted. Also, any new viewers and subscribers watching for the first time, all my old heads, and also anybody to be catching this on replay. As y'all know, we always have a topic. Today's topic is, as much as expats love the Philippines, we eventually go home. And I just want to kind of touch on that a little bit. What's up, Elliot Mercado? Thanks for stopping by. B. William, I see some of my old heads on here. Ricky Goodman, Ray Skillings. He says, I'm starting to get my property ready to sell. I want to live on the beach. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit too. The peso is 55.87, which is just a fantastic rate. No matter what anybody tells you. You know, let's talk about living on the beach. Let's talk about our decision, to relocate, part-time to Sikihor, because it's always been a dream of mine. We're living Marilyn's dream by, I built that house for Marilyn and the kids, okay? That's just how it is. That's her dream, living in her hometown, in her community. She's got her own place. But it never was my dream. I never lost sight of what my dream was, which is a simple life over here in the Philippines. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the big mistake a lot of us make is we don't realize that you come to the Philippines to live a simple life. If you want excitement, you go to Thailand, you go to Las Vegas or somewhere like that. I came here for a simple life. And all the sacrifices I made, I'd be damned if I'm going to compromise, man, on my dreams. And that's what a lot of us do. So we end up going back home. But let's talk about it, but we're not selling our house or anything like that. I'm going to spend most of my time here. What's up, Derek? Casanaras, Alex, Neville, man. I see you, Michael, Alexander. But we're just living out my dream. The kids can stay here during the summer. They're going to love it here. It is a resort. It's what it is. It's called the Gold Sky Sea View Resort. Is it going to be temporary? Is it going to be permanent? I don't know, but it was too good of a deal to pass up. It was my dream, and I'm pursuing it, guys. Will the logistics get in the way? Who knows? Is it too expensive, having two households over here? We'll see. Okay. But this is the Philippines that I dreamt about, that I made all them sacrifices for, that I fantasized about, living on the beach. I didn't come over here to live the way I was living at home, and that's another mistake we make. We come over here and we recreate the same life we had at home over here, and we end up being miserable, man. So, yeah, it's a dream, man. This place is beautiful, man. It's right on the beach. You can't ask anything better than that. But we make a big mistake, guys. We come over here looking for an exciting way to live. This is simple living in the Philippines. And once you get that right, you're going to be fine. Sam Champion says, Cal? Wait. He says, Cal, with your last video, you have given guys some big ideas about picking up a side hustle for some income. Yeah, well, that's something Maryland threw out there because, see, I know that I'm not under the right visa to do anything like that. When I talk about stuff like that, Sam, I'm talking about this is Maryland's ideas because you have to understand the trolls are out there watching. They'll do anything to try to get me tripped up, but I'm not that stupid. Everything's in Maryland's name. So anything we do, because a lot of times, man, people can be a headache. I do it for my viewers and subscribers, but some of y'all can be a headache. But hey, Maryland made some sacrifices. She quit her job. She doesn't like staying at home. Maryland's brilliant with people. She's brilliant with numbers. She likes to stay busy. That's why she stays in the gym all the time. But I'll let her handle that. That's something she wants to do. But yeah, it is because we want to stay behind the scenes and keep a low profile. See, here in Sikihor, nobody knows who I am. I like that. You know, Dana Middleton says 20,000 pesos is about 364 a month, right? Yeah. And see, this is another thing. Like I said, the opportunity was too good to pass up. Imagine that includes everything, man. This is a beachfront property with all these trees and everything, man. The shade. This is the life that I dreamed of when I said I was coming to the Philippines, man. I didn't come to live in the city and all of that, man. And I'm not going to sacrifice. I'm not going to compromise my dream because to compromise over here, guys, we're 8,000 miles away. It's suicide, really. Mr. Passport King said, Calvin, does Maryland have other hobbies besides the gym? I'm curious as to what takes up her time other than booby. Well, you got to realize Maryland's at home. She's in her community. Yeah, she hangs out with her friends, but, there's only so much time in a day, especially when you're a mother, like she is. She's got 3 kids. She's got 4 if you include me. So the gym is what takes up most of her time, but Maryland's at home. So, yeah, she's got a lot of things she can do. She's got all her support group around her. So, yeah. Liberty Casanari says, I believe that you can make it. You know how to do the right things in the roundabout way. Go for it, man. Yeah, I'm going for it, guys. But let's get on the topic. As much as expats love the Philippines, we eventually go home. Why did I come up with that? Because it's the truth. And I was talking with a gentleman, chatting with him all day yesterday, basically. And I told him, I said, he's homesick right now. He's terribly homesick. He's been here for about a year. He did what a lot of people do. He up and sold everything impulsively, not realizing what he's really getting into. It takes a little bit more, guys, than just watching these videos coming over here. You have to get an understanding of what to expect over here. That's the difference between me in 2009 and me now. I know what to expect. In 2009, I didn't know. And I told him, I said, don't beat yourself up about it. I said, home is home, man. That's a strong connection. That's a strong pull. And even the best of us eventually go home. When I first came over in 2009, I used to follow a guy called Mindanao Bob. Now, he was like the original of the originals, guys. Before YouTube, he had like a website, Life in the Philippines or something. I mean, this guy had been over here like 20 years. But eventually he went home for, personal reasons. He's living in the States right now. But he talked about, living here for the rest of his life and why he came here and all that. The same thing a lot of us say. We only think we're coming here for the rest of our lives, man, but we're not. And that's okay because all of us have a time limit here. Some of it are longer than others. Some of us need a break, man. All of us need a break. That's why we come here. Some people just take a longer break than others, man. That's all it is. But this guy gave me the idea for this vlog because the best of us go home. Bud Brown, 12 years. I met a guy when I first moved to San Carlos City. Okay, my best Filipino friend I've ever had. He lived right across the road from me. It was his brother-in-law. It was an American guy, retired from the Air Force. He was married to his wife's sister. And they had a going away party and they invited me. And I was just talking to the guy. I said, why are you going home? He said, I've been here for 10 years. That's long enough. He said, even though we go home once or twice a year, he said, I just think living over here for 10 years is enough. So he went home and there's nothing wrong with that. And I was just telling the guy, I said, most of us make the mistake you make. We impulsively sell everything without knowing anything about the Philippines. We come over here and we realize, man, it's a strong pull coming from home. But we all have a time limit. Another mistake is we never really live the life over here that we intend to live. If all things being equal and you made all your plans and everything, when you get over here, you're probably going to end up living for somebody else. See, even though built that house for Maryland and the kids, I never left track of the life that I want to live over here. And eventually I'm going to live full time by the beach. This just came up at a time when I couldn't afford to pass that up. You're not going to get a better deal than this, guys. I'm just telling you the truth. But most of us, that's a mistake we make. We never end up living the life that we intended to live over here. So that plays into the mix of why we end up going home. Some people stay here 5 years, 10 years, 20. Those of us who are fortunate enough to make it home. John Wells, he died. An expat that lives in St. Carlos City, he just died, an American. I'm not talking about the German. The German died too. I mean, those of us who are fortunate to eventually make it back home, we do. Because home is home, man. It's a strong pull. That's a strong connection to break. But most of us just need a break. That's all it is. We need a break. So we come over here. 5 years, 6 months, whatever it is. But the guy that I was talking to yesterday, I told him, don't beat yourself up, man. The best of us go home. Jay Sully says, Calvin, when you make it back home one day, eventually I will. The pull is too strong. Eventually it may be, I don't know why, but yeah, eventually I will. Cedric Giles says 15 years is a lot, and I think it's sufficient. Yeah, it's true. Stylish over 60 says, Calvin, before you go, be in the know. Expats should be aware of what's in store once we move to the Philippines. Well, what's in store? We're not even talking about all the things that could go wrong and all that. I just want people to know it's a simple life over here. And if you're not looking to live a simple life, you're probably not going to be happy over here. I think we come over expecting to live like we live at home, Vegas and all those places. The Philippines, man, is a great place to live simply. I watch the locals. I just do what they do. Because we was like, well, what are you going to do there? I watch the locals. You know what they do when they got up in the morning? They had their coffee. They went and sit by the on the beach and just looked out at the boats and everything like that. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn from them. But this is the type of environment I need to be creative. I can think, I can be by myself, I can reflect. I'm a simple man. And the guys that I see that have a problem here, they're not simple, man. They're looking for excitement. They're looking for it to be, rocking and rolling all the time. And they don't like the quiet. And they think they're going to come over here and I'm going to live here forever. And it slaps them in the face. Then they end up making it all about somebody else. I'm not talking about women. I'm not talking about being mean, guys. We made too many sacrifices to come here to live somebody else's dream. Live your dream over here, whatever it is. And I guarantee you, you'll stay over here longer. You'll get the break you need. I was talking to a guy, in my comments. He said, well, the Philippines is not the cure-all. I said, no, but there's nothing wrong with playing musical chairs around the earth. Okay? Y'all remember musical chairs. You stay here, you get up, the music starts playing. That means you're traveling. Then eventually you sit down, and then eventually when there's no more cheers, you go your ass back home. But there's nothing wrong with playing musical chairs around the planet. There's nothing wrong with coming here for however long you need to be here, then going somewhere else and like that. But yeah, most of us eventually go home, guys. And it's not a knock on the Philippines. It's just saying that home is home. It's a strong connection, guys. Alexander Neville, man, says, my brother, when you say go back home, is that full time or just 50%? Well, 50% would be going back home, Alexander Neville, man, if you spend 6 months here and 6 months everywhere. But even the best of us go back home for some, for our own reasons. if we're fortunate enough to. Okay, some of us aren't fortunate enough. We end up dying over here. Hey, Findencio Mendoza says, hello, Cal. Do you know if there's other resorts bungalow nearby like the one you got? Beautiful. Congratulations, Cal. I'm pretty sure there is. See, we came over here this last time for 2 nights specifically to search for a place. But I've already put it in the universe a long time ago, years ago. Y'all heard me talk about that's what I want to do. I mean, I don't even see a point of living in the Philippines if I can't live by the beach. That's me. If I'm going to be landlocked here, I live at home. But that was always been my dream. So we came over here searching, and as men we got settled in, we were just talking to the owner and his wife. And Merlin asked him, say, hey, do you know any places where we could rent? And they said, oh, our unit's coming available today. They're moving out, blah, blah, blah. If y'all want to move in, I was like, wow. Yeah, see? And that's what usually happens when you put it out there in the universe. It just all came together. But I'm pretty sure there is places, Fendenzio, over here. Because that's what we were talking about with the owner yesterday. I was asking him, I said, are the locals, are they happy that tourists come here? And he said, yeah, because now there's a lot of other resorts, there's a lot of jobs. They don't have to leave the island to go different places to find a job. Mr. Passport King says we need a troll to test this new peaceful beach, Cal. Well, we don't have nothing to deal with trolls. Nicholas Cherry said my budget is $100,000 a month. Can I afford to live in Manila? You mean 100,000 pesos? Absolutely, you do. Hey, Mr. Pirate Brain, it's just Shalom, Cal. How you doing, brother? I'm doing great, man. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, and a fellow insurance agent, Damon Muhammad, passed away. They buried him Friday. And he was really a good guy. And, that's another thing that will eventually take us home, man. Everybody starts dying, and, we want to get back around our loved ones. Road to the Philippines says, I see we have a comedian in the group. 100,000 per month, dude. Throw somewhere else. Maybe he's talking about, let's see, is he talking about? Yeah, I think he is. No, he's talking about 100 US. Yeah, surely we'll watch him. Alexander Neverman says, that's what I'm going to do. I could never go cold turkey on home. I'm so glad for my brother. Yeah, see, but all of that will change once you're away for so long. See, you start missing home, man. It's a tough connection, man, to break. We all think we can do it because you're not doing it. You don't have to do it. But that pull from home is always going to be there. And it's more than just being homesick. Yeah, I don't even know if this is the same Nicholas Cherry because the other Nicholas Cherry, I'm going to see what he's talking about the next couple of times. Now I'm going to get rid of him. He normally doesn't act this stupid before. Oh, okay. Grumpy old dude says, I'm looking into Tagaytay, Cebu, Iloilo, Dumaguete, and Davao, hoping to get there for a visit late this year, first quarter next year. Yeah, have an idea of what you're looking to do over here. Why are you over here? And stick to that. But I just want to warn you that the Philippines, what makes it a great place for most of us, the guys who are happy over here, it's a simple life over here. You can't go against the grain because if you do, you're eventually going to burn yourself out. That's why I'm not in the city. As much as I love the Philippines, Cebu, I'm not gonna live there because I could do that at home. Steve L said, but guys, trolls are fun, gives you someone to smack up. Yeah, but they can be annoying too, man. They can, especially when they start throwing out them false allegations and making fake videos about you, man. We don't need that. Phil Stevens says, you guys are seeing trolls in your sleep. Chill. Mr. Pirate Brain says, do you think things will get complicated as the American bases ramp things up? No. The Philippines is so spread out, Mr. Pirate Brain, and most of the United States has already said they're not going to have a full, base like it was back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. But who knows? But I don't think it is. You can't change the Philippines, man. The Philippines will change you. I don't care how many bases they put here, Mr. Pirate Brain. You can't change the Philippines. Yusuf Amal Beef says, imagine if Calvin and Mike were neighbors. See, I don't have any problem with Mike. He's got a problem with me. You've never seen me make a video about anybody, and you never will. It's just not who I am. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to waste my time. I've got enough content over here, man. I've got over 1,200 videos. To any new vloggers out there who are having a hard time coming up with content, just keep it simple. Talk about your life. Don't be afraid to let people into your life over here. Otherwise, you're going to struggle to come up with a topic every day, and you're going to find yourself talking about the same stuff. If you move, take us along with you when you move. If you have a breakup, show us your breakup. See, that way the content's going to keep flowing, but it's going to be hard trying to come up with subjects every day. Yeah, but see, it doesn't matter though. The Philippines is 110 million people. About 8 million tourists. It's just a drop in the bucket. So I don't care. I don't know how many army they plan. They're not going to have 1 million servicemen over here. That's a fact. And servicemen, they stick around the same little areas anyway. I was in the Navy. We all go to the same places. The business hour says, gentlemen, don't walk, run to get away from these modern American women. Well, see, sometimes, though, it's not about the woman. Sometimes it's about us. Sometimes it's about us. People only going to get away with what you let them get away with. See, if you want better, then do better. If you put yourself in a position where you're doing the choosing, then you can only blame it on yourself if you get a bad one. Hey, Tour Jack says, I want to live simple, but it's hard to blend in. We'll always be a foreigner, and it's hard to make real friends. I'm speaking about locals. That's my experience. No home for me, family out dead. Well, it's really not, to be honest with you. I've got a guy who's chatting me now. He plans on coming over here. He said, I don't want any expat friends. That's why I'm leaving America. I said, we all say that, guys. Listen, the people who make it over here, I'm going to say 90% of them are great people. You're going to run into some assholes over here, but the majority of them are not. It's not hard to find good friends over here. It's just how you present yourself. Remember, it's okay that they think you got money. It's okay they think you're wealthy and educated, even when you're not. It's going to get you in doors that otherwise will be closed. It's going to give you your shot. If you want a friend, then guess what, Jack? Be a friend if you want a friend. But life is simple over here, man. If you can't handle a simple life, you're not going to be happy. It's quiet over here. I mean, it gets really, really quiet. Rodney Dasher says, my brother from another mother, our birthday's coming up. My birthday's May 25th. Oh, man. Mine's is May 28th. My grandfather's was May 25th. Mr. Passport King says, hey, Michael Onstad, thanks for that super chat. Super sticker. This is our on-site insurance agent. If you want health insurance, this is the guy to see. He's got a Facebook page. It's called Health Insurance in the Philippines. It's really that simple. Go on there, guys. Talk to him. Get you some coverage while you're here and some peace of mind that goes along with it. Mr. Passport King says, I've met some very good friendly expats there. Most will go out of their way to strike up conversation with you. Absolutely. Come to these meet and greets, man. That's why it's important. You're going to find somebody over there that you're going to link up with. There's guys I met at this last meet and greet in Lapu-Lapu. They've never even commented before, man. These are great guys. I think they were both from California. Andre McCrae says, when I was there in Subic in the late 80s, the Marine Corps was there. Nicholas Cherry says, you ever wear a gold chain, Cal? I never do. I don't think I've had one gold chain when I was in the Navy. It was 18 karat, and I gave it to my wife. I was a big-time dice player on ship, and I was in Brazil when I bought it, 18 karat, and I had two solid dice made. And I gave it to my mother, but no, I don't wear that stuff. Gutter snipes is something I've been ordering about it. The Philippines is a safe place to live. Why do many houses have security walls with spikes on the top of them? A lot of times you got to keep honest man honest. This is a cultural thing. Remember, in America, we have alarm systems and guns. Okay, you may not see the protection, but you're not going to get on the live stream and tell me that we don't have some type of security guard in our homes, man. Come on. But a lot of times it's simply privacy. But yeah, we're protecting our houses over in America and wherever you live. Don't think you're living with your doors wide open and your gates wide open. That's not true. You know, and that's not a sign that it's dangerous here. When the last time you picked up the paper or turned on the news and there was a mass shooting over here, like it is all the time over there? I mean, y'all kill me with that, man. I mean, I've been over here on and off for 14 years. I've never had anything that resembles trouble. No one's ever tried to rob me, pick my pocket, break in my house, nothing. Every damn day I'm trying to escape something at home. The three things: stress, the police, and the thugs, guys. I'm sorry. Alexander Nevermaster Cal, remember you have made history. All these videos will help the men coming up behind us that will need the information. What you have done, you'll never truly be paid. Absolutely. And I put that down here, brother. I believe it's very important that people like me and Danny Road to the Philippines and other people who are making a life over here show our options. I think it's very important. And thank you, Alexander, you know, because it's always good to be appreciated. You got to show that you got options, guys. It's not enough just to know your worth. Know your options, too. Danny, thanks for that super chat. He said, congratulations on your new beachfront home. Yeah, I'm just renting. You know, he said, I hope someday to live in the Philippines. Live the Philippine dream as well. Plan to come visit my Filipino this August. Will be my 4th time there. Getting tired of the hamster wheel, Cal. I know, Danny, because I know you work a lot of long hours. You work hard. But you created a simple life over here. And I think that's why you're going to be happy. You're out in the province. You're a nurse, so hell, you could take care of yourself. But I think what a lot of guys miss is the Philippines is a simple place to live. And those of us who are able to adopt a simple lifestyle, we're happy here. But if you come over here expecting excitement and all that stuff, man, you probably need to go somewhere else. Or you're certainly not going to be happy. But that's what I love about the Philippines. It's simple. Nobody bothers you here. You know, you can just basically, you remember that piece of clay I tell you they give you when you get over here? You can fashion the type of lifestyle that you want over here. Benny G said, Cal, can you do a house tour of your new place? Yeah, the unit's going to be officially available May the 1st. But I think we may be able to, if they get it ready today, because the people are moving out today, maybe they'll let us go up there and do a tour. But that's why I put part one, because part two, I'm actually show you the place. Rick Scorpio says the Caribbean and Latin America are the same with bars on the windows and spike fences. Yeah, it's a cultural thing. You have to keep honest people honest. A lot of it's more about privacy. But tell me some place on the planet where where there's no security at all for your home. In America, you don't have that big fence, but hell, you got that big gun under your pillow. What's the difference? And it's far more dangerous over there for me in America than it is here. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't even want to say what I really want to say because they'll accuse me of promoting this place for black people. But I think the Philippines is probably one of the safest places for black people in the whole entire planet. I'm just telling you from my experience, man. Yeah, I said it. So if somebody wants to get mad about that, but I'm just basing it on my boots on the ground experience and what I've seen with other black people who come over here. This place is safe for black people. America's not. I'm sorry. Michael Hughes says, hey, Cal, congrats on the new place. Yeah, thanks, man. Like I said, I didn't come all the way over here to sacrifice my dream. I never lost track of what it's going to be. And whether it's going to be here or somewhere else, my life is going to be by the beach. I don't see any other point of living in the Philippines if I can't live somewhere near the beach. I've been patient. But I never lost sight of that dream, and I never will. Yusuf Amar Beef says, I didn't notice Calvin was black until you mentioned it. No, I'm just saying, people always hit me with this, is it dangerous over there? Or is it safe over there? Well, it's safe for me. And that's why I always say, I don't know, because I don't know you. I don't know where you're going to go. People get drunk over here. People get belligerent. They get ignorant. Okay? And it causes them a lot of problems. Gravity Force says, hey, how's the internet at your new place? Well, I'm on it now, but they claim that at the unit I'm going to be in, it's even better. I don't know why. Maybe because it sits up higher. We're on the second floor. Alpino R says, I love the beach. Damn near anywhere. I live 2 blocks from the beach. Yeah, I love the beach. I've always loved the beach. And I'm going to tell you why we do. We have a natural affinity to water. We're 75% water. So we have a natural relationship with water. And I don't think people really understand that. We live in these concrete jungles over in America, man, and we're landlocked. We're cut off from nature. I mean, when I was growing up, if you think it's bad now, it used to be better. When I was growing up, we had an apple tree, a peach tree, a grapevine. We had plums in my backyard. Cedric Giles said the brother YouTuber Austin Holloman posted his first video in Tanzania earlier today, and it looks, I don't know what you're saying. And it makes me want to visit there too. Yeah, well, see, I told you a long time ago, I've got a subscriber. He's a friend of mine now. His name is Franz. He's been living over there. I already told y'all, he's built a nice house over there. He sends me videos, man, of the beaches over there. Those sugar beaches. That's what they call them. Because they're so white, the sand is white. It's beautiful over there. He married a Tanzanian woman. And they had the traditional African wedding. He sent me videos of it. It's a beautiful place. Remember, you can play musical chairs, Cedric. You don't have to pick one place. See, that's a good thing about having the passport that we have. We're not stuck anywhere. And when I did that video a long time ago about, people always saying all the Filipinos like black men, when the question should be, do black men like Filipinos because we can travel anywhere we want. Alex Mercado, she says, Calvin, is Maryland going to have a key? Absolutely. She's going to have a key. We're going to go back and forth, but I'm going to spend most of my time here because this is my dream. Okay. Maryland's living her dream now. She's living her dream. I'm sorry. A grumpy old dude says I'm more of a mountain guy than a beach guy. Philippines has ample of each. Yeah. But don't fool yourself, guys. This is a simple lifestyle over here. And, you know, there's only a few places where you can get that excitement and it's going to burn you out. Jack Wolfanger says, are you going to split your time between both places? Yeah, I am. Mostly here, though. He says, have AC. Yes, it's an air condition up there in the bedroom, I believe. Big Diesel says, how bad did that place get hit by the typhoon? Well, it's probably the first typhoon in 25 years in central Visayas region. I didn't really see a whole lot of damage. It probably got hit as probably as bad as it got hit. I mean, as St. Carlos City got hit. Cebu City was right in the eye of the typhoon. And I was there when it hit. Okay, but you can't run from Mother Nature. You can't run from it. I'm not going to let that dictate how I live my life. Now, yeah, that's the reason I'm in Central Visayas, because I did my homework. I knew that the Philippines is known for typhoons, but the typhoons only occur in certain areas, guys. They don't hit the whole country. And this is why I say, do your homework. People say, oh, you know, what about the typhoons? Well, the typhoons don't hit everywhere. That was the first typhoon that hit this region, man, in decades. Okay, Sam Champion, thanks for that super sticker, brother. I appreciate you. Robert Dame says, I love a place that they sweep the dirt. Yeah. Get my feet grounded and be happy. Stay positive. Absolutely. See, I was laying right before this live stream. I was reading my book. Here's what I'm reading now. You know, remember I told y'all type of books I read. I like to read about extraordinary people, phenomenons, really. Whether it's a biography, autobiography, and then, you know, I read the self-help genre. This is a great book where I am now. I'm about a quarter of the way through. But I was in the hammock out there, man, and I was like, this is the life that I always dreamed about. This is what I was thinking about when I made up my mind that I wanted to move to the Philippines. Not the life I'm living in St. Carlos City. That's not the life I dreamed about. That's why, you know, I was having problems. This is the life I want to live. And this is the life I'm going to live. Eventually, full time, 100% of the time. Otherwise, I might as well go somewhere else, man. I didn't come here to live the way I was living at home, in the city, landlocked, and all of that. I want to live by the beach. And that's why I came here. Alpino R says, hey, Cal, how would it be that your house is so close to the water in a typhoon? Would it be safe or there's no issue? Well, here, there's really no issue. I mean, you can't run from Mother Nature. But the fact that they don't have a lot of typhoons in this region is why I'm here. Dana Milton said, Calvin, a U.S. passport is valid in 167 countries. See, that's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Michael Hughes said, Cal, you're going to have a meet and greet at your new place. That would be nice. You know, believe it or not, Mike, I was thinking about that today, but I'm thinking like how, because see, what I'm trying to do now going forward with my meet and greets is to kind of give back to the businesses where we have the meet and greets. Okay, like the last one in Lapu-Lapu, I know we made their month. So I'm trying to wrap my mind around it, like, well, how could this resort, because this is not really a typical resort. They really don't sell beer and food and stuff like that. If they did, I would have it here. because it would be beautiful. You would love it. But what I'm trying to do is to let people know that this Gold Star Sea View Resort is here, because this is the life you want to live when you come to the Philippines, or you want to go on vacation. And they've got, like, let's see, one, two, three. They've got like three nice places, maybe four. But nobody knows they're here. They got a little bitty sign out front, and it's on the main road, so it's a lot of different resorts. But this one's really, really nice. And it's affordable. The room we're in now, I think, is $27 a night. But you're on the beach. You're right at the beachfront. Hey, Alexander, man says, for me, wherever you go, you got my 100% support. I say, I appreciate that, man, because I'm nothing. This channel's nothing without y'all. And that's why I try to share, just pertinent information, man. It's going to help you when you get here. We got to talk. We got to get away from talking about women, man. It's more than about women. That's not going to help you when you get over here. Yusuf says it's your new place in a remote area. So I can't see how meet and greet would work there, but I don't know. It's not. It's on the main road here in San Juan, which is the main tourist area in Siquijor Island. And Siquijor Island, according to the owner here, the whole island, if you make a trip around the whole island, it only takes you 3 hours. Shows you how small it is. He said the whole circumference is, I believe he said 71 kilometers. Okay. But this is on the main road. You got restaurants, you got sari stores, you got what they call big stores. They're bigger than sari stores. They would be like a 7-Eleven. And then you have in Siquijor province, where the ferry used to dock, not where it docks now, but where it used to dock a little bit further down. I think that would be Lorena. I'm not really for sure. I'm almost certain though. You got a Prince Hypermart. It's a supermarket. It's just like a big supermarket like Save More anywhere else. They sell chicken, meat, and all of that. Out of Ordinary says, I never tried living right by the beach. I might take you up on staying there. You'll love it, man. You'll love it. It's so private. Even though it's a lot of tourists, young tourists, they riding up and down the roads and stuff, right? You're not going to, once you come on this, once you come on these grounds, you shut all that off. Hey, the Lay and Blair Slog. Thanks for that super sticker. He says, celebrate the first super chat from the Lay and Blair Slog. Now, I wonder, are you the couple that's doing the DNA test and trying to find the fathers of these people over here in the Philippines? Because if you are, I want to tip my hat to you. This is what I'm talking about, guys, when you say find a niche and let that be your niche. Remember, I tried to find Gail's father, which we found it. But what they've done, they've took it a whole other level, and that's basically what their video's about, man. They're getting hundreds of thousands of views. I think it's something that's needed over here. It's beautiful, and a lot of stories, man. You need a handkerchief when you watch it, man. It'll make you cry. The last one I saw, the little black girl here, she's so articulate, man, and, she was just talking about how tough her life was growing up here. The mother didn't want her. She never met the father. This is why I always talk about being responsible over here, man. Guys can say what they want about me. Yeah, I've got 3 children, but my children are taken care of. 2 of my sons is in America right now, okay? My daughter lives with me. No running off and none of that, okay? You just have to do the right thing. It doesn't take a whole lot to do the right thing. But at the same time, you have to understand, a lot of these men, they don't even know that they have children over here. Some of them are dead. They were dealing with women who were not choir girls. Okay, let's put it like that. They were meeting them in clubs. They were bar girls. They had a whole, gamut of, ways they were meeting, one night stands. But what Leah and Blair are doing, I hope this is the one I'm talking about. They've really grabbed hold of something, and they're running with it. The Leah and Blair Slog says, Calvin was the first person to give a super chat on our channel about 2 years ago. Now it's our time to send our support to the man who first supported our journey. Yeah, thank you. I think it's important we support each other. We don't need to be fighting. We don't need to be trolling. It's enough room for everybody over here. Just talk about your life. Find you something that you can get passionate about. Prophet Shah says, if you have some health challenges, how's the healthcare system there? All the research I've done, the people I've talked to, if you're in these urban cities, the healthcare is just as good here as it is at home. You got to have money. You got to have good insurance, okay? But it's just as good. Now, once you get out of these urban cities, see, I'm in Sikihor right now. I'd have to go to Dumaguete, and in Cebu, Bacala, Iloilo, Davao, Cebu City, Manila, English City, Subic Bay, and all that, right? General Santos, Zamboanga City. They've got good health care systems, okay? But here's the thing. Self-help is always the best. Self-care, rather, is always the best care. He said, question why the passport bros fight. I don't know, and it hurts me. It really hurts me to the core to see that, man. There's enough trolls out here, guys. If we're going to fight, who needs trolls? I mean, I'm going to tell you something, man. If you're a YouTuber out here and you want your credibility to go down like that, keep talking about other YouTubers. We can disagree and get along, guys. We can disagree and get along, but coming on YouTube, making videos, knocking each other down, man, it's an ugly look, okay? We trying to get away from that. That's why we come over here. But yeah, it's ugly, man. I stay away from it. Even if they try to drag me into it, I don't do it. I mean, and they, the things that they're fighting about, man, it's like, come on, guys. Alexander Neverman says ego. It doesn't make sense, man. Superstar Jones said, who's fighting? Well, y'all know who's fighting, man. Put it on here. Tell them who's fighting. He said, trolls are hoes. He said, where are you moving, Cal? Well, I'm going to rent a place in Sikihor Island, officially May 1st. And right on the beach. It's my dream. And this is why I came to the Philippines. It wasn't to live like I'm living now. And that's what I think messes a lot of people up. Atomic Vagrant says, hey, Cal, I stayed at that exact place a few weeks ago. Where are you going to buy your everyday groceries? Hypermart's a ways away. Yeah, but they've got two, superstores right along this main road right here. Okay? Now remember, it's a simple life over here. And then, like yesterday, we bought fish on the side of the road. See, we buy fresh fish. And then the owner here, he went out into the ocean and caught some fish and cooked it for us for lunch. So you're not going to really need a whole lot of stuff, guys. Remember, the Philippines is a simple life. If you want all that fancy stuff, man, you probably don't want to come here. Patrick Black Rock P Money says, home is where the heart is. If someone makes a decision of where to live based on women, that decision will get old quick. Absolutely. And I think the guy that I was talking to, that's what happened to him. He was in such a hurry to get over here before somebody else chose her. And I said, look, man, nobody wants that woman but you. He even asked me to take down the video because it's one of the women that I interviewed. And I said, sure, I'd do it. But, you're asking a lot. when I get paid from YouTube on my views. You know, hey, Stylist over 60, thanks for that super sticker. And now he's paying the price, and I'm not picking on him, but he is. You know, he's coming over here for the wrong reasons. Now, what he was coming over here for would have been good to just come over here for a month or two, you know, and then go back and forth or whatever. But he was all in. He came over here. Now he's miserable because he didn't know what he was getting into. Okay? Most of us don't know what we're getting into. Gutter Snipe says, last I checked, land on Sycamore is pretty cheap. Well, along the road, I think he says like 1,500 to 2,000 pesos per square meter. But when you start getting toward this ocean, it's a little bit more. But it's a whole lot cheaper than in San Carlos City. But he grew up here. And he said there was a time when you could get a hectare of land here for 80 pesos. And see, that's why people got rich. You have to know when to buy. See? Because land here always goes up. It never goes down. I don't care what the economy's doing. I don't care what the economy around the world is doing. Land here in the Philippines always goes up and never goes down. And see, you got to understand that this guy right here has a 1,000 square meter lot that his grandkids and great grandkids are going to have. You know, hopefully they won't sell it. He said, Superstar Jones said, what's the cost of living there, Cal? It's low in Central Visayas. That's why I like it here. You know, you're talking about 20,000 pesos to live on the beach. That includes everything, utilities and all. Okay? Now, we can't buy land here. Busher says, you swim, Cal? Absolutely. I swim. 2001, I can't, Lex Lioness says emotional intelligence is the thing many don't have it. Well, as much as expats love the Philippines, we eventually go home, and I think that has a lot to do with it. We don't think it all the way through. Or we make all those sacrifices, we sell everything, we do everything right, then we come over here and live somebody else's dream or somebody else's reality. Or we recreate the life that we're running from over there. You don't want to do that, guys. Get in your man how you want to live over here. And then do it. At least you're living, at least you can't say it's nobody else's fault but yours if it goes wrong. See, even though I built that house for Maryland and everything, I never lost sight of what my dream was. Okay? And this may not be the end, but eventually I'm going to have me a place on the beach. And now I can come out, I can drink a cup of coffee, sit at the table over there, and just look out on the ocean if I want to. It's a simple life over here, though. And what people get wrong is they think, oh, this is a place of excitement. There's a few places here, very few places where it's a place of excitement. Most places here is slow as hell. It's laid back. It's for people like me who enjoy that type of lifestyle. The other guys, they get sick of it and they're ready to go. They can't stay here a year. Isaiah Allen says, Cal, considering how some of the travel bloggers have started essentially beefing with each other, black and white, simply for a difference in views on the country, can a true community be created? I've created a true community. And it can be. It can be because even when I go to Dumaguete to their meet and greets, you know, those guys don't really reach out to me. But when I go there, I don't have any problems, man. It's really a nice place. I met some great people down there. And I think you can, because at the end of the day, we need each other. There's only so much that the locals can do for you if you really need help. Okay, this is where, yeah, a true community can exist here, and it does. Go up there in Angeles City, in places like that where a lot of those VOAs and all those places are. They're so powerful that now in that area, The hospitals up there, some of them will take TRICARE, a TRICARE for life, because they banded together, guys. Hey, Lance Martin, thanks for that super sticker. Yeah, that's what they've done. They banded together, and you'll see it at the meet and greet that I have next week. If you're here in Cebu, come to the meet and greet Thursday, April 27th, 5 p.m. at the Philly Sports Bar and Restaurant. You're going to see some unbelievable people. You're going to be able to meet them. You're going to be able to exchange phone numbers with them, emails with them, contact information, and ask them questions. How long you been here? If they've been here a considerable period of time, ask them the questions you want to ask. Hey, Margie Olavita, thanks for that super chat. She says, hello, everyone. Greetings from Tandag City, Surigao del Sur, Mindanao. Wow. I've never been there before. Robert Dame says, how did they cook the fresh fish? No, he didn't cook it in oil. He made a soup. It's called tinola. Tinola. See, normally I eat chicken tinola, but he made it with fish. It was delicious. And the fish was so fresh. It was so tender. You can tell the difference between fresh fish and frozen fish. That's right, Andrew CJ. He says, bet the trolls don't have a big show out at meet and greets. They don't. Because they're staying hidden behind. They don't want to be seen. Gil Bellamy says, what's the weather like year round? Well, the weather in the Philippines is, the average temperature is 82 degrees year round. It's either hot and wet or hot and dry. It's hot right now. Ray Warren says, Cal, hope you're wrong, as I will be selling everything and retiring there this year. My wife is Filipino, so I guess it's a bit different. Well, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, your wife is Filipino, but you're not. And that's what I'm saying. Don't make the mistake of moving here and living somebody else's existence or somebody else's life, because that's when you'll be miserable. Every last guy that I talked about, Ray, that left here, it's not a knock on the Philippines. It's just that home is home. It's a strong pull. They eventually left. Bud Brown, look how long he's been married with his wife, 40 years. The guy in St. Carlos City, they've been married over 20-something years. He's retired from the Air Force. She's Filipino, back in Jacksonville, Florida. Mindanao Bob, him and his wife, back in America after living here for 20 years. Eventually you go back home, because that's what home is home. So it's not about me being wrong. I'm just saying, if you're fortunate enough to make it back home, you will. We give up a whole lot of sacrifices to come here. So when you come here, make sure that you live the life you want to live, not that somebody else wants you to live. Alexander Neverman said, I was looking at the Bohol area and staying at a resort. It's nice in Bohol. It took me a while remember I started coming to the Philippines in 2009. I did not make it to Siquijor Island till 2017, because every woman that I dealt with, my wife included, they were afraid to come here. They're scaring you away from this place. And then I saw a guy on television. He was like the Philippine version of Andrew Zimmerman. It's a young guy. Anthony Bourdain. His name was Drew, and he traveled all around the Philippines. He came here, man. He convinced me to come. I said, look, you can come or you can stay. I'm going. And I've been coming here ever since. CJ Amadi said, Cal, will you ever go back home? I eventually will. But remember, like I said, it would have probably been sooner than later if I'd have stayed, if I hadn't realized my dream. See, you can only live on somebody's dream for so long, and you get tired of it. I made too many sacrifices, man. To compromise is to die for me over here. I've got to live the way I want to live over here. I want to live by the beach. I don't give a damn They say, "Oh, it's simple life." Well, that's what I want. Oh, it's quiet. There's no. One guy was saying, I've been to Sicky Hall before. There's no this. There's no that." Well, good. If I wanted this and I wanted that, I would have stayed home. Brandon McLean said Robert Dame fish is usually grilled or deep fried. Well, no, that's some of the ways it is, but remember, Filipinos have their own way. They'll cook fish a whole lot of ways. They'll put it in soup. They've got something called, they'll eat it raw. I forgot what they call it, but they make like a kinalaw, I think it's called. And they'll do that. They'll use that as like while they're drinking. But no, there's so many ways to make that fish over here. 300 River says, "Hey, everybody." Patrick Blackrock P. Money says, most of the Filipino women, he says, will convince their husbands through the years to move them back to the United States because that's their ultimate destination. Well, not really. Remember, home is home, man. They're no different than us. They miss home just like we do, especially the food. Okay, I've got experience in that. I took my wife to America. And eventually they're going to move back. She's going to move back. Hey, Mo says, "Good morning, Brother Cal. How long are you staying on the island, or do you know yet?" Well, we're leaving Monday. We're checking out tomorrow, but we're coming back May the 1st is when we officially, the unit is officially available. Dean Law says, "How much is the rental?" It's 20,000 pesos per month. Let's see. Margie Olavita says, "Yeah, it's nice here in the Philippines. There's more fun here. Yeah, if you know what you're doing. But a lot of guys, they impulsively move here knowing nothing about the Philippines. Or they move here for the wrong reason. They move here for a woman. That's not going to keep you here. You're going to hit that wall, and I don't care how beautiful she is. I don't care how young she is. If you're not over here doing the things you want to doing the things you want to do, you're going to be miserable. This guy is miserable, and he was so excited to come here. He's been following my channel throughout the lockdowns and pandemic and all that. And he was as on fire as anybody I've ever seen to come to the Philippines. And now he literally cries himself to sleep at night. He's so miserable because he's not living. First of all, he didn't know anything about the Philippines. He didn't know what to expect. He's over here living the life of somebody else. And he's miserable. He really had no plan. He wanted to come over and get to that woman as fast as he possibly could. I already told him nobody wants her but you. There's no rush. CS says, "Wait, so you do plan on going back to the United States, Cal?" We don't plan on it. Nobody plans on it. But sometimes situations warrant that we go back. While the years go by, maybe, you're saying, one guy is living here right now. He said, we're 60. He said, him and his Filipino wife, they're 60. He said, but, if it's God's will, the creek don't rise. When they turn 70, they're going back. And he said, because, as we get older, we want to have access to better health care. That's what he said. So the live stream today is, as much as we love the Philippines, we eventually go home, guys. This is a layover for all of us. It's not a destination. That's if you're fortunate enough to go back home. And it's not a knock on the Philippines, just the fact that home is home. Home is home, guys. It's a strong pull, it's a strong connection to break. We need a break from our existence. Okay? If you marry a Filipina, she needs a break from over here. So she'll be gladly to go to your country with you. But after a while, home starts pulling on her. And she wants you to bring her back home to visit. And the more time she comes back, the more she's going to want to stay eventually. Because now she can afford to stay here and live the life that she always wanted to live. See, I couldn't convince my wife of that. She wasn't convinced that I could give her the life over here that I gave her in America. She wasn't convinced. I couldn't convince her. So she stayed there. I went back, rather. But as you can see, she was wrong. But she'll be back. Gutter Snipe says, I saw Bud Brown's video after returning to the U.S. and I was surprised that he lives in the same area in East San Diego as me. Yeah, he says he's staying with his daughter, I believe. And that's a nice place to stay because I believe they're moving to Mexico, he was saying. Hey, David Brass says, how you doing, Cal? I'm doing great. Margie says 20,000, that's 358 for now. Yeah, but to rent a place like this in the United States, right on the beach, would probably cost you about 3 times that, depending on where you live. Because there's a guy in San Carlos City right now visiting me. His name is Tony, that I interviewed. He lives right on the beach in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Now, I don't know where on Myrtle Beach he lives or all of that, but he said he's right there, and he's paying about $1,000 US per month, which I guess isn't too bad. But it's a whole lot more than 358. Yeah, the exchange rate right now is 55.87, almost 56, which is crazy. Billy says, agree, maybe live your best years in the Philippines, and 70s is a good age to go home. And then remember, we can play musical chairs around the planet. You don't have to stay stuck anywhere. I just love it here, man. The Philippines fit me like a glove. Better than any place I've ever been. Okay? For where I am in my life right now. Who knows what 5 years are going to bring, 10 years are going to bring. But remember, I'm a foreigner living here. You know. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about us. As much as expats love the Philippines, eventually we go home for different reasons. Some people go home sooner than others. Some people stay 20 years, 15, 12 like Bud Brown, 10 like the guy I knew. Okay. But eventually, I was telling the guy that I was chatting with him the whole time yesterday, or day before yesterday. I said, all you need is a trip home, man. Don't beat yourself up. Just go home and come back. Or go home until you get tired of America again, then come back here. Then you get tired of the Philippines, go back home or go somewhere else. But don't be here and be miserable, because you're going to make that woman's life miserable. She didn't ask for it. You did all of that. You rushed over here. You sold everything. Margie Olivia says, I'm looking for a good man older than me. Well, there's plenty of them on here right now. It's about 337 people. I'd say 300 are men. 2001, Lex says, I can't speak for others, but I've been in East Asia for 20 years. Really good decision. Life is what you make it. Well, remember, man, you're the exception. The exception just means the rule is correct. I mean, bravo to you. You know, and it is what you make it. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of us make the wrong decision when we come over here. Okay? It is what you make it. But we make it wrong when we come over here, because we coming over here for a woman. We're going to live the way she wants to live. We're not going to live the way we want to live. You've made too many sacrifices, guys. You've come too far. Look at all the money you're spending, and you're going to have to spend. There's nothing wrong with living life on your terms over here. You're going to have to do that If you don't, you're going to go back home or you're going to go somewhere else. And don't get it twisted. The Philippines is a simple lifestyle. Don't miss that. A lot of us miss that, and we end up being miserable over here. Yeah, there's some places where it's excitement, but most of it's laid back, and we can't read that. We can't adjust to it. I had enough of the fast life, man. I was an insurance agent, going on 20 years, 16 years actively chasing that money over there. I'm ready to slow down. When I came over here, I was ready to slow down. I haven't driven a car in almost 5 years. I don't have the stress over here that I had over there. You need some stress. That's part of life, but I don't have the stress I had over here. I'm ready for it to get quiet, for it to quiet down. My phone used to ring, man. I'm telling you, all day long. I had to cut it off when I went home. People calling me with questions all the time. They had no respect of my time. I was the insurance agent, but hell, they called me at 9 or 10 at night. I don't have to do that over here. I have a simple lifestyle, and that's why I like it here. Some people think they only want a simple life. They sell everything. They run over here. They don't know what to expect over here. It gets real quiet, and they're ready to go home. Iman says, I immigrated to the USA in 1987 from Europe. Now I'm immigrating to Southeast Asia. I don't know where home is anymore. I just use the planet as my home. Wherever I lay my hat, that's my home. And that's great for you. But people have families. They have strong friendships and connections with places that's hard to just let go for good. It's a pull that's always going to be there. I don't care where you are. Because people say, oh, the United States isn't about family, but it really is. In the era that I grew up in, it was family oriented. And you have tight-knit families and communities that you come from. So we give up all of that when we come over here. You better make sure that you live in the way that you want to live over here. Otherwise, what's the point? You don't come over here for somebody. That gets old real quick. Hey, Joseph Asbury, thanks for that super chat. He said, excellent insight, Cal. I wanted to live there, but you keep it in reality 100%. Thank you for helping me and other silent watchers make an informed decision. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to talk about real life stuff, Joseph. And I think that's going to help you more than me coming up with these topics, these crazy topics. Oh, how to meet a Filipina, where's the best place to meet Filipinas, and all that stupid stuff, guys. There's enough channels on here talking about that. Okay, when you get over here, you're going to find out there's more than women over here if you're going to stay here. Hey, Sperling Edwards, thanks for that super sticker. He says, I love your show. The information is impeccable. Well, I appreciate that. It means that I'm doing my job over here. Because that's all I want to do is share my boots on the ground experience in hopes that it might help somebody. And when you do that, if you're a vlogger out there and you listening, if you do that, you're not going to have a problem coming up with topics. I was talking to some Filipino vloggers at my last meet and greet. They said it's the toughest thing about being a vlogger is coming up with content. I said, because you're afraid to talk about your life. See, if you're not afraid to talk about your life, you're going to have an unlimited amount of content. And guess what? This is what people are interested in. They're not interested in that stupid stuff for real. They'll click on it, but your success on here is not going to endure. It's not going to last if you're not giving out real pertinent information that's going to help people when they get over here. Lance Martin says, you are right, my brother. You can find a good wife in Thailand, just not patio. Yeah, see, some guy was telling me, and this is a discussion that goes on, right? They say, oh, women are women around the world, right? But I said, look, you're missing the point when you're talking about women, especially in the Philippines. We have access to younger women over here who are much more beautiful. Okay, yeah, women are women, but if you're going to have problems Don't you want it coming from a beautiful young woman instead of some old woman your same age, wrinkled, going through menopause, you know, that every time you come home, you got to fight. You fight in the world out there. And then you got to come home and fight. See, y'all missed the point about, yeah, women are women around the world. But guess what? You don't understand that you're going to have access to women over here you would never have access to at home. That's what you have to look at. But don't let that be your end all, because it's not. You're going to get bored as hell. Glenn B says the Sunshine Shoulders, what about hiring your girlfriend as the maid? Tempo comes, but you can always fire her. Just a thought. Well, that's not going to work. Women over here aren't stupid. Okay? They know that they're with you. They want a better life. That's why they're with you. They didn't come with you to be your maid. And they're not going to let you treat them like a maid. I'm just letting you know. They're not going to do that. They'll follow you to the end of the earth as long as you're going somewhere, but they're not going to let you mistreat them. Man, you'll wake up dickless. They'll cut your dick off over here treating them like that. You're not going to disrespect them over here, man. I'm just letting me tell you, okay? Yeah, Ray Warren says, maybe I would vacation in the USA or a visit anyhow. Absolutely. There's no blueprint, Ray, on what your life should be over here. I just try to give some basic things. That pull from home is going to always be there. Okay? Remember that I don't know if you've ever lived here before. It's one thing to be married to a Filipina, but it's another thing to live in the Philippines. Know that it's a simple life over here. I just want you to know that. It gets real quiet over here. And, a lot of us, we like that. We're so used to chaos and we're used to that noise that when the quiet hits us, man, I tell you, it's like kryptonite. We can't handle it. Mike Whitecomb says, I know when I get to the Philippines, I will have to adjust from a hectic lifestyle into a simple one. I expect some challenges. Yeah, see, you're in the right state of mind. But everybody's hair is on fire when they want to come over here. They sell everything. They say, I'm never coming back to the United States. First of all, they've never left the United States or Russia or wherever you're coming from for any extended period of time, even when you're in the service. Okay, you've never left your friends, family, connections, all your support behind, your favorite restaurants, your favorite hangouts. You never left them before. Now you're talking about leaving all that behind. Okay, and then you think that's not going to pull on you? When you want I used to could go to Kroger's and get a nice T-bone steak, man. Okay, let it thaw out and tenderize and all that stuff, man. The closest thing I've had is in Zamboanga. They got T-bone steaks there. But you get my drift. You're going to miss a lot of stuff over here. TJ Johnson, what's up? He said, Alpha R, there's a lot of overlap, though. This happens to her all throughout Southeast Asia, but every local in Bali assumed my girl was Indonesia. Yeah, now, because the Philippines and Malaysia is the closest. It boundaries the Philippines, but only in the sea area. The Philippines has no boundary. The only way you can get here is through the air and sea. There's no boundary on the land. So you see a lot of, down through history, there was a lot of interaction between Malaysians and Filipinos. They look alike. They really look alike. Roland Doggy says the problem is that people over there are so loud. Also on Sundays, that's always making me very angry. Well, remember, you've come into their culture. To them, they're not loud. To you, they're loud. See, this is what I'm saying. You have to know what to expect. As long as you know that, okay, Sunday's going to be loud, maybe you need to make some adjustments. to get away from being loud. Because it's Sunday now. You don't see nothing. Is it loud over here? I don't see it. Do you hear anything? It's not. It's crickets over here. Okay? So we have to make the adjustments. They don't have to adjust to us. We have to adjust to their way of life. And some of us can't do it. Some of us won't do it. We're stubborn. We're set in our ways. We're not going to do it. We'd rather argue and then, okay, I'll give you another example. Somebody eventually went home, which really shocked me. Remember Bobby D? Anybody watching me that watches Bobby D and Lisa D? I think they live in Cebu. I watched him for years before I had my channel. He was over for 8 years, man. He's home now. He's back in Atlanta for whatever his personal reasons are, guys. But I'm telling you, you eventually go home. Okay? Now, I don't know why he really went home. He hasn't really said why, but he's back, and he's waiting for his wife to get back over there. Now, you talking about now, that shocked me. I was shocked because he was one of the guys I followed, man. He's quirky, he's funny, but I think maybe he should have zigged when he should have zagged over here. I think he pissed off somebody over here or something. He got into it. You got to make the adjustments, man, not them. TW, thanks for that super chat. He said, can you live comfortably on $4,000 a month there? According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, if you earn $3,808 US per month in the Philippines and living in the Philippines, you're considered rich. So yeah, you're going to be rich. Now, if you go to BGC, you're going to be stretched. That 4,000 is going to be stretched to the limit. But if you move here to Sikihor, you'll live like a king on 4,000 per month. Are you going to live by yourself? Probably not. You're going to have the woman. You may have her children too. Then you're going to have maybe a mother. You're going to hire a maid. You got to put all this stuff into your budget, even if you don't eventually use it. I would make my budget more, that way, I have room for error. Make it more. But to say that you can't live off of $1,000 per month here, see, that's bull. You could come here and do it. Absolutely, you could do it. Okay? But it's just too many parameters. So that's why you're always going to argue. Can I live on $1,500? Of course you can. But, who you going to live with? It's too many parameters to even have an argument about a budget anymore. But your living expenses are certainly going to be less than $1,000. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be. I don't see how it could be more than $1,000 over here. With your rent being, most people don't pay $20,000 per month. Unless you live in one of them nice condominiums in Cebu or Manila or somewhere. My first apartment in St. Carlos City, I was paying $11,000 per month for a 2-bedroom, fully furnished, and then another 4 or 5 for my utilities, including my electric and water. Okay, so you're talking about what, $15,000, and that's what $300. So all's left for me now is food. Then when you get into the lifestyle, that's when you start having trouble. Because some people want to travel, some people smoke, drink, they chase women, they do all kinds of stuff. Then you want to buy a car, you want to buy a motorcycle. See? But to say that you can't live on $1,000 a month in the Philippines, that's just not true, because 2/3 of the population is doing it already. Maurice Holmes says, Margie, are you on Facebook? TW says, what is BGC? That's Bonifacio Global City. That's a real expensive, modern place in Manila. It's like living in the States, basically, or any modern place. I had a friend. He's a U.S. contractor. He was working at the U.S. Embassy before. He got transferred to Bahrain. They were paying his employer was paying his rent in BGC, 100,000 pesos per month. Okay, and he said it wasn't nothing special. He said Calvin's a 2-bedroom apartment. He said it wasn't nothing to write home about, but it was 100,000 per month. He said I wouldn't have paid 100,000, but they paid it. So that's half your money right there gone for your rent. Timothy Evans says Texas Tea saying thank you. Oh, you're welcome, brother. Let's see. Andrew CJ said TJ that I hit and miss one time, 30 honeys, absolute heaven. 6 months later, all angry single moms over 27. What's up, Speedy 00733 says, hey, Cal. Let's see what we got here. Robert Dame says, I just can't think of any reason I would go back home when everything I want is there in the Philippines. No steak, no problem. Lucky I love fish and rice. Yeah, you know, we all say that, Robert, because you never did it, really. I mean, you've lived in Mexico before. You never lived in the Philippines, man. You're 8,000 miles from home. You better hope and pray that you make all the right decisions, all the right moves. Because if you don't, you're not going to be happy. See, most of us don't even have a plan. They don't have a plan. Puck Daddy says $10,000 to live like a king and queen. No, $10,000 here in the Philippines. You couldn't spend $10,000 a month unless you acting like a damn fool. Can't do it. Ray H says $170 for my 2-bedroom in the suburbs, private subdivision. What's he saying? With a guard, about $5,000 for utilities. See, that's about right. Now, I did a vlog on the apartment in St. Carlos City, 1-bedroom, fully furnished, 10,000 pesos. You add 1,000 pesos if you want Wi-Fi and cable. So it's 11,000. Then you're going to pay another 5,000 for electric and water. So you're looking at 16,000. That's less than $300, guys, per month. Now, what are you going to do with the rest of that 700? But we're just talking about your living expenses. It's totally different than your budget. There's no way you can't come over here and live in the Philippines for less when your living expenses are less than 1,000. If you can't, then my only question is why? What are you doing to jack your bills up so high? Especially if you are a single man. I mean, single. But most of us aren't going to be single over here. You know, it's just how it is. We're not going to be single. But eventually, for no other reason, the reason we come here in different places is because we need a break from our lifestyle over there. Wherever you are, we just need a break. Some need a longer break than others. But there's a time limit when you leave that house. When you leave your home in your home country, there's a time limit. The clock starts ticking. Some of us are going to last longer than others, man. But eventually you get pulled back home. Lance Martin said people need to get their passports now because in the U.S., what's he saying? They're talking about adding $1,000 on top of what it costs to get a passport. Now, why would they do that? Wow, that's crazy. I'm going to have to look that up, man. That's real crazy. Gravity Force says, I live in BGC. I'm from the U.S. BGC is nice if you want to live the U.S. lifestyle here. BGC is better than most cities in America. I pay 30,000 pesos for rent. Yeah, see? Exactly. Now, what about utilities and then food? So yeah, but you get what you pay for. And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Gravity, for when we talk about budgets. Are you gonna live uh, the Philippine way? I'm not saying like a local. Are you gonna live the Western lifestyle? Because if you do, it's gonna cost you more, a whole lot more. Dana Milton says, laughing, I guess I'll have to scratch my maid, gardener, and driver for my budget. No, I wouldn't. You could do one for the whole thing, but he was asking me to hire your girlfriend as your maid. I'm like, they're not going to deal with that. They're not going to tolerate that. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. You'll wake up dickless, man. She'll cut your dick off. You over here talking crazy. And, you know, they're not going to let you mistreat them. They're dealing with you. They have their ulterior motives, like you have your ulterior motives. One of their motives is they want to be happier. They want to live a better life. So why would she let you mistreat her? That's not what she wants. Marty V says, I'm hoping to stay in the Valencia upper areas for under 20,000 pesos. Yeah. Just be careful, man, you know, where you guys want to live. Stop following everybody else. Remember, do what you want to do. Do your own research. Because that Negros Oriental, man, nobody's going to tell you but this. You know, it's a lot going on in that area, man. All you got to do is turn on the Filipino news. You'll see. It's a lot going up there. You don't want to get caught in the crossfire. You know, y'all following those guys because you see them living up there. And you say, oh, I'm going to go up there. But see, they're not going to give you the nitty gritty. They're not going to tell you what's really going on up there. It wasn't too long ago that the mayor of Valencia, his brother was killed by that Danish guy. Well, the Danish guy was a suspect and his girlfriend and then a local. And they arrested them and held. They let them out of jail on the technicality. The minute they got out of jail, they killed them. You know, you don't know what's going on up there, man. You got to be careful. All throughout Negros Oriental, they were talking about declaring martial law, guys. Look that up. Before you talking about, before you pigeonhole yourself into a place and you come over here and find out, oh, my neighbor is this or my neighbor's that. Do your own research, man. Quit following people. Mo says, treat her well, she will reciprocate. In most cases, that's exactly right. Remember, if women are going to be women, which they are, wouldn't you much rather have a younger, more attractive woman than, I don't want a 60-year-old woman, I'm sorry. And I'm not apologizing to anybody about that. I'll be 60 years old. Women and men, we age differently. Women age faster. They mature emotionally and physically faster than we do. There's not many 59-year-old women having babies. I can have a baby tomorrow if I wanted to. I mean, you know, I can help to create a baby. There's not many 59-year-old women having babies. We have something that's called testosterone in our system that women don't have, or they have very little of it. So if I'm 60 years old, a 40-year-old woman is about right for me, or 35. Especially when you're in good shape and you take good care of yourself. There's nothing a 60-year-old woman can do for me. There's nothing a 50-year-old woman can do for me. I want a younger woman. So, you know, that's just facts. RLV says, just our legit made here. Yes, plenty affordable here. Yeah. And you're giving back. You're giving somebody, work and an opportunity, because we're looking for a maid. Our maid left and went. I think she's got a boyfriend, and I think she's about to get married. But she gave some more reasons. So the mother's been stepping in, but Marilyn's mother's getting old, and even though she's probably in better shape than me, I don't like to see her doing all that work. I like for her to, get a break sometime. But yeah, you're not gonna have a problem finding a good maid over here. He says, Puck Daddy, the U.S. dollar would never go to 39 ever again. Man. Now, I've been here in the Philippines where it was 41 before. That's the lowest I've seen it. But now that the world is open back up and people are needing the U.S. dollar, it's going to go up. When John died in January of 2022, it was 47 or 46 something. Hell, it's almost 56. It went up 10 pesos. Yeah, Pino I says got to get them young tenders, 25 plus. And I was chatting with a guy, and he's one thing, the military guys got over a lot of other people is they've been around the world, they're simple. He's 55. He says he wants a woman between 39 and 55 over here. I said, well, why don't you just wait? I said, because, hey, that's old over here. A 55-year-old woman over here is old. And it's just, a 55-year-old woman anywhere is old. More than likely, she's in menopause and all of that. And I was just saying, based on my boots on the ground experience, you'd probably be better off with somebody anywhere from 25 to 35. Well, hell, he wasn't having none of that. Well, I said, okay, you asked me for advice. I'm just giving you advice. Now, a suggestion whether. But when you get over here, you're going to see why it's going to make a whole lot of sense. Because older women the more stubborn they get, the more set in their ways they get, the more they have nothing to lose. They have that type of attitude. Okay, he says the beach of life here. I haven't seen it. Oh, there he is. He says, hey, guys, I'm here late. Internet was out again here. The Bachelor of Science says, how do you hire a maid? Is there a service? Is a service we call word of mouth. Word of mouth, that's what you want. You want a word of mouth. And somebody's going to know somebody. Yeah, he says, apparently in the USA, men can have babies. A UDB going, Cal. Not really, man. Andrew CJ says, don't date the poor boy. Sad, but too many headaches. Well, see, that's basically all of them. What do you consider, that's subjective, really. Because remember, you're not responsible for the circumstances that allow you to come over here and enjoy the things we enjoy over here, first of all. Second of all, it doesn't mean that they're less than. Okay? What do you consider poor? That's what I'm saying. Because Maryland's got a college degree, a 4-year college degree, a real college degree, not 2 years and, a certificate. She's got a 4-year college degree and was earning something like 7,000 pesos per month when I met her. That's when the people paid her. So what is that considered? A lot of times it's because the wheel of life stopped and let them off wherever it let them off. Okay, it doesn't make you better. There's a book out, I'm telling you to read it. It's called If George Bush Were Black. See, and it's just saying that, George Bush enjoyed a lot of the privileges that he did because the will of life let him off in the Bush family, not because he was smarter than anybody else or had more intelligence. On the contrary, he wasn't. He was. If George Bush, with the qualifications that he had, if the will of life would have stopped and let him off in Louisville, Kentucky, in the West End where I grew up, he'd have never been the president of the United States. That's a fact. He'd have never been governor of Kentucky. Okay? So that's how you look at it. We were created equal, but we're not born equal. And a lot of times, what you want is a woman that's going to appreciate you. Why would I want somebody that's not going to appreciate me, or that can appreciate what I can do? I mean, why would a woman over here that's rich, why would she even want to deal with you? Okay? There's a reason they deal with us, guys. Don't be stupid. And there's a reason we deal with them. Okay, the Beach of Life says, I'm in Cebu, my condo reopened, but no internet. Oh, wow. Maurice Holmes said, good information. I was looking for a woman in her 30s or 40s. I'm 51. That's about right. You're 51. I would go, there's only two categories of women I can't really tell how old they are. Anywhere from, I'm going to say 16 to 25. It's hard to tell how old they are, okay? And then once they get 35 and up. But if you're 51 years old, I would say somewhere between 25 and 30, because they're a lot more mature over here. They have to be. However old you think that you want to meet a woman over here, add 7 years onto it. You say, well, Calvin, why do you do that? Because women here get started about 7 years younger or sooner than women from where you're from. Marilyn was 11 when she started taking care of her family. I'm talking about her mother was not there. She was the one that had to go out and wash clothes, get rice, take care of her sisters and brothers at 11 years old, okay? My kids, an American woman at 18 years old still don't know how to do nothing. Okay, imagine trying to put her on her own. They get mad at you if you try to kick them out at 18 over there. But they're a lot older. They're a lot more responsible because they have to be. So if you're saying I want a woman 30 to 40, you're saying 37 to 47. Which over here, man, I'm going to tell you, a woman starts getting in her 40s over here, man. They get old, man. They get old quick. Superstar Jones said half a man's age plus 7. No, I wouldn't even do that. I'm telling you that women over here, man, it's a different dynamics we're looking at, guys. They're a lot older than they are, than what their birth certificate says. If I'm 50, I really don't want a 32-year-old. If I'm 50 over here, I'm telling you from my experience, when I was 45 and I started coming over here, it was a Filipina woman who put me down on it. She says, what are you doing with me? She says, because she was 41, I was 45, beautiful. One of the sexiest women I've been with over here. But she says most foreigners, when they come over here, they want younger women. I'm like, well, what are you talking about, younger women? She said, well, hell, you're 45. You could have somebody 20. And I was like, what? It never even crossed my mind. I didn't even think, look, guys, here's how naive I was when I came to the Philippines in 2009. I didn't even know that kind of stuff went on over here. She put me up on it. She did. So when I come back, I'm supposed to meet her. I didn't meet her. I went back home, got on the dating site, ended up meeting a woman 22. She turned out to be 18, but there was no way I would have known. I just so happened to be there on her birthday. But you just don't know. She was an old 18. Nobody even looked at us different when we were together. I never even felt funny being with her because I thought she was 22, but they're older, guys, I was 45. Yeah, I was 22. Then when I was 46, 24. Then when I was 47, 25. There's no, in 30's too old, man. When you 50. I'm sorry. T.J. Johnson said Calvin Beach had met her. She's actually in one or two of Calvin's videos, by the way, of being there. Yeah. Andrew C.J. says, yeah, a 30-year-old man in Australia is like a child now. It really is, man. TJ, he's got he says, my housekeeper cooks, cleans, handles all the chores, and at 22, isn't terrible to have cleaning around the house in leggings or Daisy Dukes. Yeah, see, she's 22, but she seems so much older to me. I don't know why. But she's only 22. You know, I guess the way, like I said, she's had to start out doing things. And you're not going to kick her out of the bed. That's a fact. You know. Yeah, poor is in the mind, Michael Beats of Life said. Broke is in the pocket. Yeah, a lot of people over here are just broke. They're not poor, man. They're trying to get out of their situation. Reverse that. If you think that, okay, you can come here to tell you how easy we have, and I say this all the time. Take you and you come over here and you get into, and you have to work and live as a local. I'm talking about no advantages or anything, just whatever the society is giving you. See how far you're going to go. And then you take the local here and put him in America. Because I see this all the time. And see how far they go. They go to the moon because it's our society. In America, man, we made it so easy to earn a living and to raise your family that you can't even really be proud of doing that over there. It's so easy. Then you come over here then and try to do it with no special privileges, no special nothing. They just put you over here at 300 or 400 pesos a day. Okay, and all the other things you got to deal with over here. You may or may not have a real job. Okay, you may or may not have Social Security when you retire. I think Marilyn's mother, I think her Social Security it's either 1,000 or 1,500 pesos per month. Okay, it's different, man. You know, but there's no sense in you bragging about what you did over there when everything basically handed to us, man. Those days of working hard and struggling and having to struggle in America really are over. It's not that. That's not why I left. I didn't like the hectic lifestyle that goes on over there. And then the hate, the violence. See, all that, I said, man, you know, I need a break from this. It's just so happening it's been 4 years and I'm still on my break. But I'm not going to sit here and lie. I know that eventually I'm going to go home. When is it going to be? Next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I don't know. But if I'm anything like the rest of the Americans who come over here, I'm going back eventually. T.J. Johnson said, yeah, her work ethic definitely trumps mine. She's committed to her work to the point that she went parasailing with me because my girlfriend wouldn't. And I could only do it with 2 people. Yeah, you know, she ain't no joke. Remember when y'all visited us in San Carlos City, we're all sitting at the park, y'all drinking, we're just having a good time. Next thing you know, a car pulls up, she runs off and jumps in the car. I'm like, how does she know anybody from San Carlos City? No, she was on Tinder. And hell, TJ ended up paying for the hotel, you know. Yeah, see, this guy's being truthful. He said, Sunseeker said, 5 months in, I'm jonesing for some America. You know, because your break is up. Maybe that's all you needed was just a 3 or 4 or 5 month break. Some of us really need to get away for a long time. And I'm one of those guys. Because you got a limit over here. And it's no knock on the Philippines. It's just that home is home. The Philippines is a layover, guys. Okay? The Philippines is a layover. It's not a destination for most of us. We're eventually going to go home. Yeah, TJ said, what she does off the clock is none of my business. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, that they can take care of themselves is what I'm trying to say. She's 22. She knew to get on that Tinder and get her groove on and all of that. You know. Let's see what we got. Mike Smith said, life is hard in the Philippines. Life in the Philippines wears women out sooner than the West. Yeah, but that's why they want you over here. See, when you come over here, this has just been my experience, and you meet a woman, I don't care how old she is, in 6 months, she's going to blossom. She's going to turn into somebody else because you're going to put the peak, you're going to fill in the gaps that's missing for her over here. That society oppresses her. You're going to be able to take some of that weight off of her. And she's going to be somebody different, man. That's why I tell guys, when you get on these dating sites, here's the mistake we make. Because I've never seen guys have such a hard time meeting women over here. Because they're skipping over the real women here. They're trying to go for these extravagant women online. You can't let these profiles fool you, guys. So what you need to do, okay, if you don't have the heart to come over here and just talk to a woman in real life, because that's the only way you're going to tell. Is this filter or is this real? But what we do is, online, we pass up the 5s and 6s. Who are the real women on there who are saying, hey, I really want to meet somebody. We go for the 10s. I was looking at a guy, he showed me his favorite list. I said, dude, no wonder ain't nobody calling you. You're chasing the same women that everybody else is chasing. And they're just sitting back like, yeah, okay, I'm chatting with 5 and 6 men and all of y'all sending me money. All you got to do is get you a 5 and 6 if you're going to go on the dating site. And I guarantee you, she goes up a notch or two after you meet her. Okay, plus she's going to look better in person than she looks on the dating site anyway. When's the last time you seen what a 22-year-old woman looks like, man, in real life? The last time you've been with a 22-year-old, probably when you were 22. Man, y'all missing the whole point here. Y'all looking for perfect women, man. There's no perfect women over here, man. Because I'm really shocked. I'm like, the guy messaged me yesterday. He said, did you have a hard time meeting your Filipina? He says. I said, man, I've never had a hard time because, I know what I'm doing on those dating sites. I know who to look for. Hey, Philippine Expat Prepper, thanks. He said, for stopping by. He said, good morning, Cal. The Ghost of Pennsylvania says, COP Stewart, you can renew your passport in the Philippines. Yeah, you can. Yeah, Alpino R says, I'm down with the yummy 6s. Listen, guys, Maryland is a yummy 6. Okay, she's not going to win any beauty contests, man, but is she perfect for me? Is she the perfect to meet on one of those sites, man? She is. Because I know what to look for. I'm not trying to look for some beauty queen because I know that 100 other guys are going to be dealing with her. There's some women, okay, let me give you an example. Remember Roger and Ismi? Then you know how nice looking his wife is, right? Nobody ever chose her because she said she was a lot thinner and everything on the profile. Nobody ever chose her. See what I'm saying? So she got off the site. We're all going for the same women when you going up for these 10s. You only go for the 10s in person. You don't go for the 10s on the dating site. You only go for the 10s in person. That's a little piece of information I'm giving you. Yeah, Mr. Pirate Brain said most 22-year-old women look good. Hell, I'm 60. This is the point I'm trying to make. Stop, if you're going to be here for 2 weeks, guys, come on. You don't really have to be so damn choosy. When I say be choosy, I'm talking about when you looking for a life partner. When you're talking about somebody that's going to be by your side every single day. But if you're going to be here for 2 weeks, man, and some of these guys are going home empty-handed, man. I'm like, wow, I never thought I'd see that day. I never thought I'd see that day because you're not listening, and then you're not following through. I mean, I'm a simple guy, man. I'm not gonna win any beauty contests over here, man, or anywhere in the world. But I know what to look for, and I know what they're looking for. You say the right words, Yeah, Jerome Morgan says, not to mention they're hot and ready like an oven. Yeah, see that dreamer that I had, man. Let me be honest, man. I couldn't handle that. Couldn't handle that, man. At 21 years old, I couldn't handle her. I mean, it's just the fact, man. But it's there if you want it. You don't have to go home empty-handed. I wasn't even looking for her. Yeah, the Bachelor of Science. This is a fact. He said guys are too shy to talk to tens in real life. And this because beauty intimidates men from the West. Now realizing these are, especially over here in the Philippines, they are certainly the loneliest women because nobody's going to say anything to them. They're afraid to say something to them. Man, look, some guys who have taken the chance and have those tens, man, they'll tell you. I got a friend over here in St. Carlos City. He's got a 10. I don't give him, well, I'm going to say a 9 because there's no perfect, but man, she's a 10. It's close to a 10 I've ever seen. Mo, my buddy Mo, that he may be on here now, he had a close to a 10 too, man. But sometimes, you have to be careful when you get them beautiful ones like that because everybody's chasing them. The temptation's there. Don't say what they won't do. They always try to say, put it on the man. They're women. They're human beings. If the right man comes along while you're overseas, they'll try something. But we're talking about tens in person. They're lonely, man. I mean, what do you got to lose? If she says, oh, I'm not interested, well, more than likely she's not going to say that. And then what may be a 10 to you may be a 5 to me. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It is, man. Some of these women over here, it's shallow to even put the numbers on. You just say they're beautiful. There's not a day goes by that I don't see a beautiful woman over here. I'm talking about beautiful in my eyes. I say, wow, she's perfect. She got everything I want. But for you to go home single-handed, when the odds are in your favor, when they're sitting back, hoping and praying that you choose them, they intentionally get on that dating site to get in the way of you for you to catch them. I never thought I'd see the day, man. I'm seeing it more and more now. Guys can't even get a date over here. I'm like, dude, man, what dating site are you on? Market Focus say, hey, Cal, next time I'm in the Philippines, I'm definitely headed to Siquijor. Come on, man. Big Bro Cal said, I can't get your comment about the Sunshine Shoulder stroke with the dream of my man. Yeah, she tried to throw that sex tape out there on me, right? And I didn't care because it was a WWE beatdown anyway. If you want to show that, then go ahead and show it. That's all they saw. They saw me from the side. They saw her full face. It's like you cutting off your nose to spite your face, but I really didn't want it out there because I'm afraid, if the wrong person sees that tape, it could cause some innocent people problems. It's not going to cause me problems. I just get caught being a man. That's all. It's not going to, my father taught me that a long time ago. Men it's a double standard in the world. We can get caught doing something like that and then, put on a suit and tie and the next day they'll call us Mister. But a woman can't live that down. Marty V says, I just turned 60. I'm recovering from brain injury. I'm looking for a young woman to take care of me as I would her. Well, you're not going to have that problem as long as you don't come over here trying to uh, uh, mistreat anybody. You know, as long as you treat them like human beings that they are. Okay, and this is perfect. He says it might be a 10 on the outside, but a 2 on the inside, and vice versa. He says, and this is true. Vice versa, I say. Um, the Ghost of Pennsylvania says, when in the Philippines, I get my girls at the mall. He says, no thank you, labor government. The WWE beatdown. Yeah, small but good. Yeah, TJ Johnson says, if you go home empty handed here, it's psychological and you have to talk to someone about it. Even that sad sack, nobody likes me, I'm so lonely side act in the Philippines will get you some play. It will, man. See, this is what I'm saying. But guys are just, they're going home empty handed. I can't see it. When they want you to, they want to be with you. I mean, I was minding my own business, dude. I was minding my own business. Oh, wow. GR says Garcia down. Well, see, that's what I was thinking. That big fight's on. I was thinking, I'm just like Floyd Mayweather. You know, Ryan Garcia, he got his rep on YouTube when Tank Davis, he got his from whooping people. I just think he's just, you know, when it comes to that boxing, man, he's like a miniature version of Mike Tyson. You know, if he takes it for granted, somebody eventually knock him down. But as long as he's on his game, nobody's going to beat him. The Bachelor of Science says the crazy hot scale never lies. Be careful of the tens. You know, you can have, like I said, okay, the dream was like a 8, a 7 or 8, but she's crazy. Whereas Marilyn's like a 5 or 6, but she's like a 10 on the inside. She's brilliant with people, brilliant with numbers, you know. And it's just something that you're going to have to learn over here. But to go home empty-handed over here, man, I don't understand it, man. It's crazy. Oh, wow. He said, yeah, K. Davis said Tank Davis just knocked down Ryan Garcia. Tank Davis wasn't joking, man. I was watching that, you know, the thing on Showtime that builds up the fight. You could see it in his eyes. He didn't like that guy, man. He really wants to hurt him. He took it personal. Kat Abella says, hey, Kat, I'll be visiting for the first time in years this summer. I'm so excited. Yeah, man, just we're all excited when we get here. He said you was a WWE wrestler. Yeah, that's all. If she wants to put that out there, I said no finish. You gonna get up? Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight, man. He said Tank has one of the best back tats I've seen. You know, and they're trying to make, you know, because he calls himself a man of God, they're going to pick him apart, right? They don't realize, man, that football players, boxers, they're some of the craziest individuals to me. I mean, you know, you can kind of forgive their craziness, man. Sam Champion said, have you heard from our old friend Buck lately? No, but I talked to his best friend. He said Buck's busy. Buck's an over the road driver now. Mike Dorsonville said, Brother Cal, I'm watching the fight. Tank's a bad man. Yeah. I'm hoping he wins, man, because I didn't like the way, well, of course, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, he's going to be on he's going to build the fight up. So he was building Ryan Garcia up. TJ Johnson says, I'm not saying you have to date a Gila monster or anything, but there are plenty of girls with a cute enough face or a little around the middle by Asian standards that aren't getting play as well. A lot, man. A lot. more than you would even imagine. Most of them are nice looking because they made it up in their man. They shut the local men out completely. Okay, they want a foreign man. It's nothing you've done. They just made it up in their man. They want a foreign man, so they want you. They're looking for you. But you have to know what you're looking for on those dating sites, man. We're chasing the same women, man. Get you one that's like a 5 or 6. You know, you're gonna be here for 2 weeks, man. You never know. It's some. You got a man for that gold, man. A lot of times it's not on the surface. Yeah, but yeah, to come home with nothing, yeah, I don't get that either, dude. I mean it. Uh, it's more guys going home with nothing nowadays, and I feel sorry for them. I really feel bad for them because I know what's over here. I'm over here. I was minding my own business when I met that dream. I wasn't even looking. Marilyn knows I don't go out looking. I don't chase women, man. I got a woman. I don't chase women. I wasn't looking for anybody. She found me. Now, if I was single and didn't have anybody, um, would have pursued that? Of course, I'm a man. But you know, you got to weigh it up. Robert Sharkey said, "Can you practice polygamy in the Philippines?" It's illegal by most standards. It's illegal, guys. This is a conservative Catholic society. You can't have that over here, but they do have a Muslim population here, and that may be practiced in certain parts of the Philippines, but most of it's not. And why would you want that anyway? Could you really handle that? One is enough for me, really. Dealing with these crazy. I mean, you know, I don't care what they look like, man. It's just, can you really deal with more than one? Let's see. So what round is that fight right now between Tank and Garcia? What round is it? Because yeah, I've got about 10 minutes before I get off of here. Merlin's at the gym. She's gonna find a gym wherever she is. I mean, she's really a gym nut. Yeah, Mark Singer said one is enough. Careful what you ask for. Yeah, I don't. Those days, I don't. I've always been a one woman man. I've never had more than one woman. I never saw the point of that. I just never seen the whole point. So also in 4 rounds. Is it over? Is in fourth. Is it in round 4? And he's knocked him down already. Yeah, tomorrow I'll go to. Well, I don't like the word tomorrow. Monday morning when I leave here and go to Dumagetti, I've got to pick up the book, the paperback book that I finished. Volume 1 is called Unspoken Agreement, Stories of Love and Betrayal in the Philippines, Volume 1. I've got 5 short stories in there, and they're all based on true stories over here. And once I get it, you know, edited the way I want to, and then I need some help. If it's anybody watching that can help me to convert my thumb drive into an ebook, you know, I'm going to put that out there for sale. You know, the sales are going to help my spin wheel. But these aren't just some kind of stories that I just, you know, it's not trash. These are great stories. And this is what I picked certain viewers and subscribers to read them. Ones that I knew would give me a good feedback. And they said, yeah, Cal, you got something going here. Mr. Powerbrain said, you maybe should get a 4 or 5. Sometimes you need a slump buster. Yeah. But see, I'm going to tell you over here, if you get a 21 or 22-year-old, 23-year-old man, 4 or 5, you automatically got to give her 2 extra points for that. I sound shallow, but it's a fact. Because you guys, man, you have no idea what it is like to be with a 22-year-old woman when you're 60. I mean, it's something that, you know, it's something I can't describe, but you guys come over here, you want the team, you want the top of the line, the, you know, the best of the best. And okay, if you're going to get married, I can see that, but you're only going to be here for 2 weeks. And you guys are going home empty handed, man. You don't know what you're missing out on, man. I promise you. Okay, PH Expat Prepper said, message me, I can help convert. Hey, why don't you give me your email? Send me an email. He said, a slump buster. Are you serious? Let's see. 4 rounds. What's up, Geechee Lion Music? He said, I've been doing music all day. Isaiah Allen says, do you believe people take in consideration their appearance, physique, and hygiene as much as their financial situation when courting a Filipino? Or do you feel men believe she will accept anything? Well, I think men think that they'll accept anything, and believe it or not, remember, we're not desperate. They're desperate, guys. They're in a desperate situation. That's why the 18 to 80 blind, crippled, and crazy, it's true for them. Now, for us, it's not. I'm not going to date a woman 18 to 80 blind, crippled, or crazy over here. Do you think I'm going to date a woman in a wheelchair over here that's had a stroke? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you that it's different, when you're talking about the standards, okay? They can't afford to be picky like we can. We can afford to be picky, but it's changed. It's turned around. We should be picky when we're not. And yeah, we do think that they'll accept anything because they will for the most part. And once you get with her, will she tell you to take a bath? She probably will. She should anyway. But right off the top, no, they don't care, man. If you've seen some of the combinations over here, you know that I'm not lying. If you see some of the combinations over here that I've seen, you're like, you see who's desperate and who's not. The Bachelor of Science says, what's the name of the book, Cal? It's called Unspoken Agreement. Stories of Love and Betrayal in the Philippines. Kay Dallas says, I'll be there for 3 to 6 months. Yeah, see, except dudes will exclusively go after the ones that can afford to be picky. And this is where we make the mistake. Did you get me something?
There's no pancit.
What's that?
It's a fish and the
Fish?
And the gulay. There's a lot.
Well, you eat that. I don't want that. Well, I'll get
You
something
want
else.
that? You know
No, you eat it.
Oh.
She can eat that. Yeah, you're right. See? And that's why they go away empty-handed. They don't know what a good woman is like over here. See? They don't know what a good woman is like over here. They don't know what constitutes a good woman over here or a bad one. And that's where we get in trouble. But you got to get your feet wet. That's why it may take you 3, 4, 5 times to find a good one. But boy, is it fun, testing all that. But yeah, guys, I want to thank y'all for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up. Merlin's back from the gym. I've got to go get something to eat. I haven't eaten all day. And try to see if I can get some highlights of this Tank and Ryan Garcia fight. I'm pleasantly surprised that the Wi-Fi worked pretty good. It didn't go off. And Marilyn didn't help. She's supposed to have told me, sent me a message if it was working good.
I did.
I didn't see it.
I didn't know you can.
Mr. President said, what help do you need, Cal? I need converting my thumb drive into an ebook because a lot of guys are going to be overseas and they're going to want to buy it, you know, through an ebook. But I'm going to have some copies over here for people who I meet over here, like at the meet and greets and stuff. I can sign them and give you a copy because they're real good stories. They're interesting stories. And I'm not just saying it because I wrote them. It's true.
Would you like this? See?
No, I don't want that. I'm not in the mood for that.
Okay.
Let's just see. Geechee Line said, Calvin, I'm working on that right now. Working on what right now? Oh, new music? TJ Johnson said, dudes would tell you they went 0 for 50 in the gym and forget to mention they were all 40-foot jumpers from the offhand. Jeffrey Taylor says, let us know when the ebook drops. I'm in line already. Thanks, brother. I know I can depend on you and Jack over there, man. Old School Chicano 74 said, hello, all from Sacramento, California, USA. Hey, when is that next game between Sacramento and man, I want them to beat Golden State, man. But I think the NBA is rigged. I really do, man. I think it's rigged. Because, okay, they beat Golden State twice. And then the Golden State has the next game they play without one of their best players. And they end up winning. Same thing with LA and Memphis. The LA beats them, and then they come back without Jay Morant and beat Ja Morant, rather, and beat LA. Then I'm watching Boston. Boston's so much better than Atlanta. They beat them like, you know, like they stole something, 2-0. Then they go to Atlanta and they lose. And I'm like, man, the NBA is rigged. I hate to say it, man. It's not the NBA anymore to me. I don't watch it. I watch the highlights, but I don't really watch it. But thank y'all so much, man, really, for all your support of Sunshine Shoulders. Be looking forward to the part 2 of that. We're moving to Sikihor. It's coming up. Thank you for your super chat, super stickers, your thumbs up. I'm going to get off here and go get me something to eat and maybe go down and lay in the hammock later on. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. I don't even know how to cut this off. Okay, let's see. Oh, here.